Google Forms is a great tool for really collecting information from a few people, from a lot of people. And then what's great about Google Forms is it puts everything kind of into a real nice visual with graphs and lets you kind of see a summary of everything that you've collected as well as individual results. And finally, you can also export those into spreadsheets and do some manipulation with the data that way. And then Google just recently added the ability to create quizzes right in Forms itself, which I think is huge just for those staff that are looking for a way to do some quick and easy formative assessment with kids and get some feedback that way. So let's walk through just some of the basics. First of all, they've got templates here at top, and you can always click on more to get some ideas of what's out there, but we're going to start with a blank document here. I'm at the plus, and I'm going to title it right away. Just because I want to make sure that I don't have untitled documents, too many in my list. I'm going to call this test form. And then what I like is up here at the top, if I click where it says untitled form, it'll automatically pick up that title and we're ready to go. I can add a description if I want, and then I can start making questions. And so I'm just going to go ahead and say, what color is the White House? And I can put in image or put in answers down here. I can put in white, blue, red, and green. And I can change that question type anytime I want right down here. And this is where I get all my question types. Short answer and paragraph are obviously very open-ended. Multiple choice, check all that apply with check boxes or drop-down list. Gives a list of choices. A linear scale is where you can rank things from like say 1 to 5, 1 to 4. You can pick that topic, and then you can have people rank things certain ways. Multiple choice grid is kind of like a linear scale that's got more than one topic under a category. So you can list a whole bunch of things and people can rank things out. And then obviously date and time are just that. You can insert or have people check the date and the time that they're filling the form out. So it really is that simple. I'll just leave that question right there as multiple choice. If I'm going to ask a similar question like that, I can also duplicate the question. I can delete it, and I can also make it required. And what that does is the person can't submit the form without answering this question. It's one of those situations where they say, or they can't move on. They have to answer that question. And you can also go over here to some more. You can have people go to a certain section of the quiz based on answer. That's a little more advanced in terms of understanding Google Forms, but it's a nice feature to have as people bounce around the form. Over here is really the heart of where you're going to do a lot of your creation. This is again where I can create new questions, so I can drop that in there, and I can make this one a linear scale, for example, and I can say, how well do you understand Google Forms? And then I can keep it 1 to 5. I can make it whatever I want here. 1 to any number, 1 through 10. I'm going to leave it at 1 through 5. And I'm going to say not very well. And you can see it's adding it right into my Google form there, or very well. And that's a linear scale, for example. I can also add titles and descriptions. I can just drop that in, and that's a nice way to keep things kind of organized and clean in your form. I can also import images and YouTube videos right into my form. And finally, I can add sections. So I can create it where there's a whole new section of the form. Again, keeping things very organized for people to better understand. Up here at the top are some nice features. Color palette. I can either insert an image that goes up here at the top like a header, or I can change the colors right there. And when I want to see my form and what it's going to look like from the end user, I just click on this little eye and allows that to do a preview. And there's my form. So I'm going to go ahead and complete that. I'm going to say the color is white, pretty well, and that's all I've got for questions, and say next. Okay, and then I can submit it. And if I click up here at the top, it now shows that I've got one response. And I can click on those responses, and my graphs and everything are automatically made for me. So you get very quick feedback that not only is helpful, but also is very intuitive in terms of how you read it. Let's take a look at one that's completed with the multiple choice grid. This is one recently about Google Apps for Education. I had 23 responses, and I can look at responses, and this is what I get automatically. So when I ask the question, please indicate how comfortable you are with the following, creating and sharing Google Docs, and some different Google tools here, and then people were able to say either not at all comfortable or very comfortable. You can also export all this data into spreadsheets by clicking the little green button up there in the results, and it will make it automatically into a spreadsheet. and then you get all of your results, and you can filter things out and do your spreadsheet magic that many of you are very accustomed to using. So that's kind of the basics of Google Form. I'm going to make a different resource for looking at how to make Google Form quizzes that is new to Google now. Thanks.